Welcome to another Seafaring review. This time we have Ship of Fools, released a couple days ago to all major platforms. In Ship of Fools, you and another sailor will take the reins of a ship called the Storm Strider, and in roguelite fashion will attempt to sail as long as possible, fighting anything the sea may throw at you. This often comes in the forms of giant sea monsters, bugs, and waves of other bandits. Along the way, you'll be upgrading your ship with additional perks, treasures, and artifacts, all in an attempt to sail to the finish line. In the main game, you'll spend most of your time coordinating with your fellow frantic sailor to stay alive. It's key that you're constantly picking the right cannon to fire away, gameplay that is reminiscent of the couch co-op gem, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. Thematically, it obviously has more in common though with a game like Sea of Thieves when you have to manage a sinking ship, or Trash Sailors, another sailing co-op game which I recently reviewed for the channel here. During any given run, you will have a choice on a hexagon-style map on where to sail next. This will determine exactly what enemies you face or what secrets you'll find. Difficulty-wise, I found the game to be fair in co-op, balancing the addictive nature of wanting to keep playing without getting frustrating. Although solo mode is noticeably more difficult, even with some added gameplay balances of having an auto-firing cannon to help win those huge waves of enemies. I know often with roguelite experiences, people are often concerned about replayability. When you end a run or sink in Ship of Fools, you will restart washed ashore with any permanent ship upgrades you acquired, but you'll lose basically everything else. This concept repeats until you are able to complete the game, which probably takes me longer than your average gamer since I really like to explore the ins and outs of something, but I would safely say the game provides about 10 to 15 hours of gameplay before you would get tired of it. There's a decent amount of collectibles and sailors to unlock, all of which have different abilities, so playing around with different combinations of them is interesting and particularly fun in co-op. Outside of the gameplay, I really love everything else about Ship of Fools too. I find the art style to be super attractive, the game performs technically well, and the music is awesome. It really sets the sailing tone nicely, and I'll link to the full game soundtrack on Spotify here, composed by Felipe Grant. I hope I'm saying that right, should anyone watching this also care to listen to some of the standalone music. Generally speaking, games can do a slightly better job with sound immersion, but if you happen to play Ship of Fools with a pair of headphones, you'll see it really helps to set an awesome tone for another addictive run at getting to the end. So there really are a ton of good co-op games for the Switch if you know where to look, but it's rare for them to be polished enough to end up in the class of games like Overcooked. Ship of Fools just enters that class in my opinion, as long as you're playing in co-op. Everything from the combat, to the visuals, to the music, well basically everything I enjoyed. It could use a little more content, a little more randomness, and maybe some other quality of life updates, but nothing gets in way of the fun, again especially in co-op. Ship of Fools ends up being a very polished experience, and one I can universally recommend as long as you have a local or online sailor to play with. Peace out everyone.
Danger approaching, they try, the aquapocalypse ever raging topside, while relics of sirens they pull from the depths, unaware that their quest might lead them to their death. Our tale began with the heaviest storm, now I'm afraid how it ends. Believe me, I've seen it before. The darkness that lurks in the eye of the storm. The darkness that lurks in the dark.